Hello everyone, this is Colby. I'm back. Sorry about no episodes yesterday, got caught up doing some other things. But today I'm just going to do a couple of things. This should be a fairly short episode. First off though, we're going to go to right before the very final boss of the playthrough. We're not going to fight the boss today. That's going to come, much later. But for now, we're going to go and fight the Black Knights of this area because I'm going to show you guys how I like to farm my Titanite chunks. Now, there's a couple different ways to farm Titanite chunks. Some people like to go down and they like to farm them in New Londo. That's my least favorite area because you have to fight all of the little knights there, and it's a long run back from the campfire, and they're kind of hard to fight, and it's only a drop chance. Another actually really good one, a good method of farming both souls and farming Titanite chunks is if you're really good at killing those big giants and Orlando, the ones from the Chamber of the Princess where you drop down and there's those two knights, they heal themselves and they do the big AoE blast thing. Those give you good experience and they have a decent drop chance for Titanite chunks, especially if you are using the Covetous or the Silver Serpent Ring, and then you're using the Helm of Avarice, the big chest on your head that gives you extra souls and extra drop chance. That's a good thing to do, but my thing is just really simple. I'll use these Homeward Bones here, and there's a Black Knight right in the very first part of this area that's really easy to kill, and I'll just kill him, Homeward Bone back to this little altar here, and I'll just keep running up and killing him. It's a 100% drop chance, so you get it every single time, and so you should be able to get some Titanite chunks pretty quickly after just using a couple of Homeward Bones. So if you run up here, and I don't remember if I do it in this particular footage, I'm actually voicing over this after I've done this, but what you do is you just literally run right up here, you jump over him. Okay, I didn't do it here. So normally what you will do is you run and you jump over him because he'll run up to you, and then he'll be facing the other direction. You get an easy backstab, and you just finish him off with one or two more strikes, and he'll drop that Titanite chunk. It's really fast to kill him. Okay, right now I'm just doing the parry tactic. If you're good at parrying, then you can kill him that way as well. There we go. There's a Titanite chunk. That will net you a bunch of Titanite chunks. Then you can max out your gear that requires those Titanites as much as possible. Now, I don't know if I'm not going to max this particular set of gear out all the way because I don't think I'm going to use the Armor of the Sun as my final set piece, since I'm going to get, I think I'm going to be using the Havel's Ring, and I'm going to be using the Ring of Favor and Protection, and I might actually use the Helm of the Father to give myself a little bit more equipment weight, and then I can use some heavier sets like the Giant set. So you have to kind of decide beforehand which set of armor. You might want to go look up on the Wikipedia page which armor best fits you. You need to decide what weapons you're going to be using and how much weight you have to spare in order to do fast rolls. So I'll do all those calculations later, and so for now we're just going to kind of run through here, and I'm going to show you there's actually some loot you can grab here. That's why I'm running further. I don't normally run further in here if I'm farming these, but the first time through I like to run in. You can grab the Black Knight set, which honestly I never use it. Here's another one of these Black Knights that will drop Titanite chunks, so for now it's fine. But yeah, I never use the Black Knight armor, but I just, for some reason, since it's easy to grab, I just like to go get it. Oh, there we go, Black Knight sword. Okay, so that's it for just farming Titanite chunks. There's obviously different farming areas for different things. I've never really had to farm anything other than Titanite though, so I don't really have a good thing to tell you if you're needing to farm like the fire stuff or whatever. But honestly, the only things that are ever important for me are lightning mod if I'm making a low level character, or Titanite chunks for a high level character. So that's pretty much it. Okay, the next thing, if you're using a demon weapon such as Queloch's Fury Sword or something like that that you need to upgrade using Demon Titanite, there's a couple of demons that you need to kill in order to get those. The first one is this easy one here, and you know where it's at. It's the Undead Parish. The others I don't have footage of, but I'll go ahead and tell you. There's 4 of them in the underground area of Sin's Fortress, and those are going to be the hardest demons. Well, 2 of them are the easy ones like this one, and then 2 of them are like probably one of the hardest enemies in the entire game. They have a lot of health, they do lots of damage. You got to stay around their tail and do that. And then there's one more in Anor Londo, and then the rest of them you're going to get in chest in the upper part of Anor Londo. So that should be good for even Titanites for upgrading at least one weapon. Okay, now that I've told you about all the farming stuff, that was just real quick. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually going to go do the DLC content, and in order to do the DLC, you have to unlock it. So this is going to be an episode directed at unlocking the DLC content. And so first off, you have to run out here. This is the area where you know, right past Havel, and it's also, you know, it's connected to the Undead Parish if you run out into the forest area. And you're gonna see this big Hydra. Oh, holy crap! Forgot to kill these guys off. All right, let's kill these guys off real quick. Now, when you do this part, I don't have it on right now, but you're gonna want the Rusted Iron Ring, which you get from going back to the starter area. It'll make it possible to run around much faster here. Generally, what you do, you just kind of have to run all the way up to the very edge. Now, you have to be careful because if you run too far, you can fall off the edge. There's a part here, and you can kind of see it if you're looking down, but not if you're not paying attention, where you can actually fall off. Essentially, you just get to the part where he's not shooting the water droplets at you, and he's gonna run his head at you. If you have a weapon with enough damage, you can generally take each head out with one attack. Otherwise, it's gonna take a few strikes. But once you chop off all the heads of the Hydra, and see, here we go. I'm actually too far back. I'm gonna have to run forward a little bit. But like I said, once you chop off all the heads of the Hydra, then this boss will go down. He's really easy once you figure out his little pattern, which is, it's not really a pattern. It's just you got to figure out where each head lands. And at first, you just kind of hold up your shield and block, and try and stand right next to where one of the heads is going to land, and you can chop it off very easily. So what I'm going to do is wait for him to land his head, and then I'm like, okay, well, here's the head. Just follow it to the end, and oh no, missed it. Anyhow, so we'll take off this head in just a second. Now, earlier I showed you guys I did the playthrough, and I forgot to get the broken pendant. Well, not that I forgot to get it, but I could not get the broken pendant because right after this boss here is an area that has another one of those same type of golems, and you have to kill that golem first in order to free the, I can't remember what her name is, but she's some queen or princess from Ulasil, which is this old city that's, you know, fallen into the abyss. Okay, let me see. All right, so we killed the Hydra, and I believe he drops a ring. Oh, never mind, that's just blue Titanite chunk. All right, and that was from the golems. Those golems have a chance at blue Titanite drops. So there you go. I guess if you need some blue Titanite chunks, you know that they come from these golems. In fact, you can get the golems from the other area. What is it called? The Duke's Archives. Those golems that are out there on the way to the Crystal Cave drop blue Titanite chunks. Okay, there's the Knight starting gear right there. And right over here, now I'm just kind of running past the waterfalls. If you stay on the left, you're not going to fall through. It should be fine. I'm going to speed the footage up just for me running. But there is the golem right over here that you need to take out. And it's not too bad as long as you don't have well, if you have the Rusted Iron Ring, it's a lot easier to kind of juke. But if you're running really slow here, he can kind of catch you with one of his attacks, and they do quite a bit of damage if I remember correctly. But I'm just gonna put on my Rusted Iron Ring so I can move faster. We'll do Power Within, and that ought to make us do a lot more damage. So he's walking up all foreboding, like, look at that, he's all scared. Oh, now he's pissed. He's coming. Here's the jump. Oh, I didn't even need to. He like missed on his own. Okay, 2 attacks should do it with Power Within and the Scythe. I mean, I've got the Scythe upgraded pretty much all the way. I upgraded all the way up to plus 15. And there we go. There's the Ulasil Princess. You can talk to her, and she'll ask you if you want her assistance. And you can hit yes after the text. And you can go summon her in just a second. So let me show you where she puts her summon sign. And you can actually buy some useful spells. In fact, if you're a magic user, I suggest coming to her early on in the game, especially before you go to the Tomb of the Giants, because she sells the Cast Light spell, which allows you to essentially have the same thing as the lantern without using the lantern, and it's just always on. So it's really nice for the Tomb of the Giants. Okay, so would this be assistance to thee? Yes, it would. Your heartfelt thanks. Alright. What a nice, kind, gentle lady. Alright, so let's get through her dialogue here. Yeah, so she tells you that she's going to put a summon signature up. Good times. Okie doke. Now I'm just going to skip over to this part here, and that's where it is. It's right where you killed the Hydra. Behind that rock there is her summon sign. And let's go ahead and pull her up, and I'll show you. She also has this cool spell. It's like camouflage. If you cast it, you'll turn into something from the environment. So if you're in the forest, you'll turn into, I think, like a rock or a tree or something weird like that. And then if you are, for example, like in Sin's Fortress, if you cast it, you'll turn into one of those little statues, one of the little Silver Knight statues. So there's some pretty cool stuff here. Some areas I think you'll turn into a pot, I believe. So interesting stuff. Oh, yeah, there's one that lets you hide your weapon. It's kind of good for PvP. You can hide your weapon. They don't know which weapon you're using, so they don't know the reach on it and stuff. Whenever they're about to swing it, it's kind of hard to read. I don't really see people. I think I've seen one person use it in all the time that I've been doing PvP. But all right, the next thing you need to do now is you can actually head over back to this area if you skipped it, which hopefully you didn't. Don't skip it. I recommend not skipping it because it sucks to come back here. But yeah, go ahead and kill this crystal golem here, and now you'll get the broken pendant, and you can actually go back to the same area where you killed the first golem, and you'll see this little black hole looking thing. If you walk right up to it, it allows you to examine the area. And once you walk in here, you'll actually be sucked in to the DLC content. And that's what's next. On the next couple episodes, we're going to be running through all of the Prepare to Die Edition content, which is awesome. It's super fun. They did a really good job with it, and I'm excited for it. But that's going to be it for this particular episode. We'll just dedicate the next full episode to the first part of the DLC. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that next video link. Should have the next video up here shortly after this one. I'll see you guys around for the next one. This is Cobra Cheese. Peace out, guys.